The initial police report stated that there were several open windows and at least one door in the house that night. So there were several places for a potential intruder to be able to get in. There was also a broken window in the basement that could not be properly closed. And that's what they considered to be one of the most likely entry points if it was an intruder. Let's see. Okay, in addition, much of the house was covered in thick carpeting, so that would have allowed any intruders to be able to quietly walk around without making much noise. Police found a bowl of cut-up pineapple on the kitchen table with the Ramsey's son Burke's fingerprints on it. So Burke is JonBenet's older brother. The autopsy results revealed that JonBenet did have pineapple in her digestive system at the time of her death. However, the Ramseys claimed that they never put pineapple on the table and that Burke was sleeping during the entire events of the crime. This means there's a significant break between the story that the Ramseys provided and the physical evidence. So that makes them look pretty suspicious.
Right.
And then, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, this is what kind of made people start suspecting the Ramseys, and this gave rise to the theory that the Ramseys had killed JonBenet themselves, or that the kidnapping was a cover-up staged by the parents after discovering that their daughter had been killed by Burke.
Which is, like, horrible to think, but honestly, some of the evidence is just so sketchy. Like, the ransom note was written on their kitchen stationery, and they couldn't rule out that the handwriting didn't match the mom's handwriting. I think they ruled out that it didn't match the dad's, but they couldn't rule out that it did or did not match the mother's.
Yeah, and just the fact that the note was written on their kitchen stationery is so suspicious, because like, if you were,
it was poorly written. Like, the way they wrote the ransom note was like they filled it with cliches and things that you would like see in ransom notes in like a movie, which, I mean, anyone could have done that, I guess, if you're like an amateur just trying to stage something, you know. But
also, I mean, I guess it's possible that someone could have known the exact amount of the father's bonus, but
it's definitely possible.
But I think it's possible, but
everything that I've read has said that, like, it's almost certain that whoever it was, JonBenet knew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a lot more likely that the family members would know the amount of the bonus than some random person who just wanted to. I mean,
but when they read that part, or when I like first read that part that said that the amount was almost the exact same of her dad's Christmas bonus, my thought was like, oh, this is some creep that her dad worked with that knew, had seen JonBenet. So, like, if you guys have never ever heard about this story, JonBenet was like a pageant girl. So, like, she was often like dressed up and made up and was brought to these pageants, and like those pageants are known for like attracting creeps and pedophiles, and they really do, I mean, whatever, that if you like that kind of stuff, but they really do over-sexualize those kids. Yes. So I know it's like tough to think that, but that's a very real possibility.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Let's see, just to go ahead and mention some of the other evidence they found. There were pieces of broken glass and scuff marks around the broken window in the basement. There are also fingerprints, handprints, and a boot print that have still not been identified as a match to the Ramseys or any of the over 400 people that have been investigated. That's crazy. 400 people?
Well, yeah, because all those people that trampled through their house, in addition to, like, anyone who was probably connected with JonBenet, and, like, I mean, that makes sense, especially since it's been a cold case for so long.
That's true. I just have to think, out of the 400 people that were investigated, one of them is guilty.
Whoops. For sure, but, you know, those police officers screwed it up. So what are the prevailing theories? Let's go through those.
Okay, let's see.
So the first is that the parents did it. Right. And I know that a lot of people say that they killed her by mistake, and they did the ransom note thing to cover it up because they didn't obviously want to be arrested. And but I also watched that video, Lauren, that you sent me that says that they think that the brother may have, because people reported the brother having violent tendencies as a child, the brother may have like killed her or hit, I think it was like hit her in the head with a flashlight or something, because that's what they determined was like the weapon that was the blunt force to her head. And he like got violent or something and hit her with the flashlight, and the parents, in an attempt to like not lose both children, staged the kidnapping. Although I don't know where the strangling would come in, you know?
Right. Yeah, because I tend to agree with that theory that maybe the brother accidentally killed her, and then the parents tried to cover it up to save him because they figured they already lost one child. They don't want to lose both.
That's honestly the most sad theory, you know?
It is.
Because that's probably like hellish for the parents. I mean, they were idiots if they did do that, but like, what would you do, you know?
It's horrible for everyone involved.
Sorry, a motorcycle was driving by.
It's okay.
Other theories other than the parents?
I think other than the family and the brother, obviously there's the theory that it's just like a random
break-in
person. Yeah, random break-in, or someone who is like knows of the family and knew that they had money. Yeah. Decided to do this. And
however, even though the theory that the parents were somehow responsible was a prevailing theory for a while, actually they were, so the dad was pardoned a while ago, but the mother was just recently pardoned, and like a official apology was issued because of new DNA technology. They found the DNA that showed, I think was like under her fingernails or something, that showed the signs of the sexual assault were two unidentified male. So both of the parents were pardoned, basically.
You said the DNA evidence on her was two identified males?
Yeah, two unidentified males.
What do you think about that?
So, I actually think that it was someone like a family friend or family member, because, like you said, they found pineapple in her stomach. So, like, whoever it was, she must have known and trusted enough to, like, follow them into the kitchen and, like, eat pineapple with them, you know? So I just think it was some sick individual that they knew, and then they're just idiots and wrote it on a kitchen stationery. I don't know. I really don't think it was the parents. But the mom actually died of, what was it, ovarian cancer in like 2008. So, she's not even around anymore to be convicted, even if she did do it. It's just like a really sad situation.
It is really sad.
They were both pardoned, even though there are some people who still think the parents did it. Did you see the interview with the brother, the Dr. Phil interview?
I have. Yeah, is that the interview where he's acting kind of weird and...
Yeah. Isn't
he laughing and smiling a little bit?
So, he very well could have just been, like, nervous, because, you know, he's on a big... He up until that point, I'm pretty sure he hadn't really done any media interviews about it. I mean, he was 9 when it happened. And, like, the whole situation is probably extremely traumatizing to him. There's a vast majority of people who think that he did it, so, like, he's probably not comfortable going in public. So there could be a lot of reasons why he's acting like that. But basically, you guys can Google the video, or the clip from, it was, like, what was his first name?
Burke
Ramsey. On Dr. Phil. He's like smiling and laughing while he's talking about like pretty traumatized, nothing like violent or anything, but like pretty like upset, things that would be upsetting to most people. And again, there are probably multiple reasons why he's acting like that, but it is like a little weird.
Do you think it's possible that if Burke did somehow accidentally kill her, that like over the years he
forgot?
Yeah, forgot, because when traumatizing stuff happens to you as a child, your mind has defenses against that. So like, do you think maybe he did do it and he doesn't even know?
Yeah, I mean, he very well could have suppressed it, but I do think that, like, once how old is he? Like 28 now? Older than that.
Yeah,
he's a grown adult now, basically. And I think that his dad probably would have told him if he knew.
I see.
I mean, I guess you might want to keep that from your children to shelter them, but like, can you imagine if those memories like came back to you later in life?
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy.
But also, the note was signed SBCT. What do you think that stands for?
I've seen theories that it was supposed to be like a group, like the initials of some like terrorist group of some sort. Was that mentioned in the video I sent you?
No,
okay,
it wasn't.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's very confusing. Like, if it was someone they knew, do you think they just wrote random initials to throw people off?
Right. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This was just all very...
There's so many...
really, like, it's so frustrating because there's so many contradictory pieces of evidence.
Yes.
Like the brother's DNA on the bowl of pineapple, but, like, there's also signs of sexual assault. So, like, you know what I mean? Well, the brother, excuse me, there's DNA from the brother and the mom on that bowl of pineapple.
Yeah.
So, like, there's just so many signs of, like, contradictory evidence.
Yeah, I agree. And
it's just so confusing.
Yeah, there are a few strong pieces of evidence for definitely, like, a few of the theories, so it's just really hard to...
Yeah, right.
To say really confidently which one you believe.
I'm pretty sure that the investigation lost funding recently or something. So I don't think they're looking much more into it. I know that they were able to, like, get more details out of it since development of new technology, like with DNA stuff. But
yeah,
so I still stick with the friend theory because they would know how to get in the house. They would know what John's bonus was, and they might honestly, like, maybe the police did search the whole house and did search the basement, and the body was not down there, and maybe they brought the body back to stage it. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. It would be odd if if it was a cover-up for Burke, why would they create that garrote, like
with her stuff?
Yeah, I just feel like that's, like, a pretty sick thing to do to your own daughter's body. Like, even though it's obviously extremely wrong to try to cover up this murder in the first place, like, taking it that one step further is just bizarre.
I just think something like that, like, if they did do it, would just send them out of their mind, so they wouldn't be thinking straight. They would write the ransom note on their own kitchen stationery. They would, even the way I'm talking about it, I'm just jumping around from theory to theory. Like, there's just, like...
Yeah. I know.
There's so much evidence for and against all the theories.
It's true. And, yeah, I guess it would make them out of their minds if... Like, can you imagine if one of your children was found dead and you suspected that, or you knew that your other child had something to do with it? But, the whole kidnapping thing is just so bizarre because, I mean, I feel like if it was me and I was trying to cover up something like that, wouldn't your first reaction just be to tell police it was an accident and she fell down the stairs and hit her head? Like, if she was killed by a flashlight.
Yeah. I think if they had said it was an accident and lied about the way that she died, like if she had actually been hit with a flashlight and they said that she fell down the stairs, the police would have found evidence against that.
Yeah.
Because both of those, like, cause different injuries, you know? But anyways, that's beside the point.
That's true. No, I understand.